So if you've been playing at home, the last couple of episodes have been all about venture capital funding. The first episode, we were talking about how to structure your organization if you're looking at getting that venture capital infusion. Second episode was talking about angel investments and why that's usually a really important step in going out and getting your Series A. This episode, we're going to be talking about the different types of venture capital firms that are out there, and not just from a standpoint of small, medium, and large, but also from a standpoint of what is it that each different category of venture firm is really looking for in an investment opportunity when they're going through due diligence. So I'm your host, Bruce McFarlane. I'm a serial entrepreneur, been doing this for a number of years, and let's go ahead and get into this. So we've talked about structuring your company. We've talked about angel investment. Something I glossed over in the video when we talked about angel investors is when you go out for rounds of funding. And as I mentioned in the previous one, you don't want to go out when you're hungry, so you want some money in there. So the worst reason to go out for a round of funding is because you need the money. Usually what they want to hear is that you're going out, we're doing fine on our own, but if we have this additional money, we can do this. That's really the story that they want to be able to hear. So, usually that first round of funding, you're gonna have to figure out what that story is. That first round of funding is we've got this working prototype, and the reason why we need a round of funding is to take that prototype and make it something that's ready for the market. Or maybe you have something that's ready for the market, and that first round of funding is so that you can do sales and marketing, because right now it's you and a few engineers who have this really great technology, and now you need to, to start seeding the environment, and you don't have the sales and marketing team set up to be able to do that. Those are one of the two reasons why people end up going for that Series A, and usually after you've gone for your Series A, you end up looking for, we need to take that next hurdle. We're trying to, we're trying to go international. We're trying to do whatever. But there's always got to be a reason why you're going for that round of funding. That reason cannot be that we're running out of cash. As you're going into getting your Series A, you'll take care of that with angel investment, so that you just have, it's like eating before you go into the grocery store. You want to make sure that you have some finances padded, so that when a venture firm comes in, they're going to be able to look at you and say, no, holding out for a little bit, not going to really provide any benefit for us. Let's just go ahead and make the investment. The more hungry they think that you are, the higher the likelihood is that they're going to just kind of stall and stall and stall, because they know that you're going to get hungrier and hungrier. After you got your Series A, hopefully, that first investment organization is going to help guide you through structuring what that Series B is going to need and that Series C is going to need. But you really want to structure that story behind each. Having said that, we're going to dovetail into the different types of venture firms. And we talked really briefly that you've got like the tier 1s and the tier 2s and the tier 3s. And one of the biggest things that will differentiate one from the other is how large their typical investment is. If you have any question about that size of investment, go and check out Crunchbase. Crunchbase can be a really valuable tool to be able to see what the typical investment is and what any particular organization ends up looking like. If you're looking for more money than a typical VC firm typically hands out, you may want to pass on them. If they typically end up doing an investment is 2 or 3 times more than what you're asking for, you may want to not waste your time with them either. The size of the organization is one aspect, but there's another aspect that's not as well known, and I like to think of them as the 3 Ps. So the 3 Ps are typically what venture firms are looking for in an investment. So the 3 Ps are as follows: personnel, who is actually running the organization; product, what is it that you've actually built and how important is that; and then the plan. The plan is, like, how are you going to end up going out and executing? Every VC is going to be interested in all 3, but every VC is going to find one of them more interesting than the other 2. And knowing what they are interested in is, number one, going to help you figure out how to position yourself to these organizations, but it's also going to help out, whether or not you should even be talking to some of these venture firms or not. You're going to end up having to do a lot of dog and pony shows through this process. It's best not to waste your time with people that are just not going to be interested in you at all. Let's start off with the personnel so we can dismiss it. There are firms out there that are really interested in who's actually running this. Have you had a track record of success? Have you taken companies public before? And that's really what they care about. They think that, if we've got this right team put together, it doesn't matter what they're selling. They're going to figure out how to make it successful, and they're going to really be investing in the team more than they're going to be investing in the product or the plan that you've got. They're going to figure the product you can figure out, the plan the team is going to be able to figure out. So that's what's important. I hate to say this, but if you're watching this video, you're probably not one of those people. Those people have already taken companies public, so they're not going to need to watch a Venture Capital 101 video. These are people that the venture capitalists have on speed dial already. They've worked with these people before, they feel comfortable with them, and they know that they have a proven track record. The next P is product. And the product is really, what they're looking for is the intellectual property of your organization. So, is there something really unique? Is it poised for success? How protected is it? Have you got the patents together? This is actually more than likely, if you're watching this video, this is a higher likelihood of where you end up sitting, in these three Ps is, you probably have this really good product idea, but you may be so new in the industry that you don't have the staff assembled yet. There are lots of VCs who are really interested in this, and that's actually not a bad thing. This is a really good thing. The things that you're going to need to take care of in advance of pitching to them is, being able to really clearly articulate, this is what's new and unique about my product, or the product idea, or the intellectual property, showing that your product is either patentable or it's patented, or you've got a provisional patent, and that's an entire other conversation that we can end up having. These firms are really interested in that intellectual property and guarding that and investing in that. And they figure if the product idea is good, they already have a Rolodex full of people who they know how to execute, and those people will be able to figure out the plan, so it's good. So that's the product thing. Then there's the plan people who are like, you may be doing something that's not necessarily all that original, and we may never have heard of you before, but you've got this plan for being able to execute that we see is really kind of unique. And if we think that this is something that you're in a unique position to be able to take advantage of, and we feel reasonably confident that you're going to be able to do that and other people aren't going to be able to copy you all that easily, that's when those people will end up coming through. They figure that they can always, if your plan's good, they can always put the right people in place, and the product isn't as important as long as you have a way of coming to market. You've got products out there like Fitbit that weren't necessarily, people had pedometers before, but Fitbit figured out a way of being able to address the market in a way that was reasonably unique. So, these are the three Ps. How do you know what firms are interested in each one of the Ps? Well, it's really simple. Take out your pen. I'm going to give you this list. No, just kidding. I've taken 20 years figuring this out, so I'm not just this is too long to kind of just share on a simple video like this. And besides, it changes on a year-by-year basis. The best way I'd recommend is you hit the venture firm that you're thinking about first. You check out their investment page. They're going to have a portfolio of everybody that they've invested in, and you take a look at what they're doing, you take a look at who their staff is, you look at those organizations, and you get to start seeing a trend of, I know why they invested in these people. They've invested in the same group of executive staff 5 times, and they've won 5 times in a row. Or, boy, none of these people in the executive staff are older than 25. They're all fresh out of Stanford, but they've got this product that is really new and unique. You're going to be able to determine really quickly in looking at just the company, each one of these venture firms' portfolios, just what they think is important and what isn't. So that's how I would go about doing it. As I said, the firms have a tendency of shifting around a little bit every couple of years. So keep track of what they're interested in. Know what they're interested in, and before you go in and pitch, if they do find one thing more important than another, if you find that they're more interested in product, you need to go in there talking about why your intellectual property is different and how you protected it and how nobody else is going to be able to copy what you've done. If they're interested in the plan, make sure that that's rock solid, that you've got the entire business plan really set in stone, and that you can show that you've done your diligence in terms of how you're going to end up executing. I hope that you've been finding this series helpful. If you do, please feel free, like and subscribe below. The links to the other episodes are going to be below as well. If you know somebody that's going through the process of doing a startup and they're looking at doing venture capital funding, please feel free to go ahead and forward this entire series off to them. I've been your host, Drews McFarlane, and I look forward to seeing your comments below.